The Barry, Illinois man arrested in August for using an explosive device in the alley behind the Pike County Jail pleads guilty. According to court documents, 23-year-old Dakota pleaded guilty last Friday to possession of explosive or incendiary devices, unlawful possession of a bomb, and 2 counts of intimidation. As part of the plea deal, several charges were dropped. Court documents show in August, Adams set off an explosive device behind the jail in Pittsfield. He also sent through the inmate text messaging service threatening to harm people and to detonate explosives. Adams was sentenced to a total of 9 years in prison. He gets credit for time served.